Hello, welcome. This is the Let's podcast. And Let's is a nonprofit organization in Zambia combating domestic violence. Little tiny warning before we begin. This is a safe space. It's a movement. So many countless voices go unheard across the world. And we are trying to create a place that we can empower people, speak openly and honestly, learn new skills, and focus on topics that people might find difficult. We're going to have difficult conversations talking about different things like domestic violence, gender-based violence, mental health struggles, overcoming societal barriers, getting through challenges, and from people's different perspectives as well. We're going to have survivors' testimonies. We're going to be focusing on real life experiences, and we're amplifying these positive voices that we can have in our lives that we can learn from. And I just, it's just a warning really, so that you're aware of what you're going to be listening into. Things might be uncomfortable to hear, and things might trigger people. So with that in mind, I want you to know that you're not alone. So if you feel like this isn't a show you should listen to because of that, then don't. If you do listen and you feel like you could maybe benefit from speaking to somebody, or you want to share something with us, or you're seeking support, please reach out to us. You can get to us through our website, which is www.letsstoptheabuse.com, and you can reach us via WhatsApp from any country, or phone and text in the UK. The number is +44 74 95 33 88 30. You're not alone. We want to be here to support you, and we want to grow and learn from all of the experiences that are happening around us, and we want to let's be part of the change. While we are trying to become part of the change and changing the narrative, I just want you to be aware that Let is an up-and-coming service. So please, yes, do reach out to us. But just be aware that if you're in crisis, please do access the crisis lines in your area, because we are not a crisis support yet. So you may not get an immediate response. Thank you. We are joined by the very beautiful Zweli. She has an inspiring story to share with us, where she talks about how she started her journey as a house helper and pursued an advanced diploma in public relations, marketing, and advertising. She was extremely determined and is currently doing a master's degree in international business. Zweli is a very inspiring woman, and she's going to also talk about some children's books that she's published in 6 different languages. And these are Christian affirmation books called Happy Kids Pocket Guide. So, yes, thank you so much for joining us, Zweli. Thank you so much for joining us on the show. Thank you for coming. And I'm very excited to hear about your story. Please, would you introduce yourself?
Yeah, my name is Zwelihle Banks Nsiiwa. I am an entrepreneur. I am a co-founder of Smart Thinking Publishers with my husband, and we've also founded a company called PR Hub, which is an interior designing company, because my husband is an interior designer. I'm a writer, so we decided to push along the two.
Yeah. Wow.
So my journey began as a house helper years back. I was 2 decades back. I worked as a house helper. Very interesting. And for some reason, I had this edge. It's like I knew that I knew that every time I clean someone's house, at the back of my mind, I knew I don't belong here. Mm-hmm. It's like I had a for the future. I don't know how it happened, but consistently, I saw a better person in me. I saw a dynamite in me. And for some reason, I held on the picture. Mm-hmm. And throughout the years, the fire that burnt within me, and I had to rely on God, declaring the word of God, trusting God, praying. And in to rely on God's word.
Mm-hmm.
So years back, I born again, and I was staying with my sister before I got born again, and then I told her that I wanted to go back to school because I failed my O-level in Zimbabwe, and then she happened to be a breadwinner, so I was staying with her. She was taking care of everything concerning me, and then she passed on.
I'm sorry.
A few years back, passed on, and I had to resume as a mother to the children that she had left behind. And it was a 5-year-old boy and a 9-year-old girl. So I had to take care of them, resuming as guardian at the age of 22.
Gosh, young.
That time I also had my son, so it was hard for me to work on those things. I'm a house helper. I can't afford to sustain all these three. It was just very difficult. So God sustained me throughout the years. I worked as a house helper, saved money, went back to school, did my certificate in public relations, did another certificate in diploma, ICM, United Kingdom. It was an online course. And then I did an advanced diploma. I passed with distinction. I said, oh, girl.
Wow. Amazing.
So I went to a university called Limco Queen University of College, Limco Queen University of Creative Technology, where I got scholarship. Crazy. I just went to that school. I didn't have money with me. Faith carried me to the school. When I got to the school, I registered. I remember some lady asking me, who's going to pay your school fees? I told him my dad. Oh, but my dad was dead years back,
Yeah.
But I told the lady, because I didn't want her to frustrate me. So I told the lady, my dad will pay for my school fees. And then she said, okay, no problem. Fast forward, I lost my student card. And it was towards my exams. Remember, you cannot access exam room without a student card. And I knew it was only for me to go through the finance department to be reminded that I cannot have a student card replaced. So I had to go through the marketing department. They told me, go to finance department. I went to finance department. When I went to finance department, they told me you're owing 35,000 pula, which is equivalent to $3.5 US. I said, okay, can you print me the statement? She printed the statement. I went home. That time it was like a reading week where we were preparing for the exam. So I thought I have a lot of time to deal with the situation. So I took the paper. I went home. I prepared my meals like a daily activity. I took a shower and I went to my room. That night I couldn't sleep. I was just praying throughout the night. And I remember putting that paper on the floor. And I sang this song called Wonderful Jehovah, Jehovah Wonderful. Throughout the night, I was just like rejoicing, praising God. And I just refused to give up. I just said, Lord, you are going to show up. You're going to show your light. And, for some reason, I was like a mad woman. I said, Lord, I come a long way to be embarrassed now. I come a long way to be ashamed now.
Mm-hmm.
No time for shame right now.
No.
Showing your light in my life. My faith just arose in that manner. And for some reason, I just believed that, hey, man, this is just nothing. I can really child this situation out,
Yeah.
So I was so on the inside. My faith was just like somewhere else. And throughout that night, I just prayed. And in the morning, I'll just meditate, focus on my studies, read. And I was reading, preparing like I know that I'm going to sit for the exams. But I knew it was just a crazy thing. Every time I think of it, it's like I was watching someone that was just doing the exam. I was not part of it. So that time, after 3 days, I went back to the finance department. I told the lady, can you print the statement? She said, you again. I said, that's me. She said, you were here a few days back and I printed your statement. It shows you're owing. I said, I think you made a mistake. I'm not owing. Can you print out the statement? She printed. She was shocked. She says to me, your statement is at 00. There was a mistake. You had a scholarship that we never really recorded or updated your record. So you don't owe. You have a scholarship that we maybe by mistake someone forgot to indicate on your on your record. So I said, are you serious? She said, yeah. Then she printed the 00 statement. I carried it home. Then I got my student card. I finished my studies. I applied for another scholarship. Now, I'm currently starting my thesis, the Master of Science in International Business Management through the University of East London, United Kingdom. I'm actually doing an online course. It's another scholarship by UNICEF.
Wow! Praise the Lord!
So,
How amazing!
Yeah, so I've learned to trust in God.
Wow.
When everyone else is gone, when everybody else is gone, I've learned to rely on His word.
Yes. Thank you, Jesus. Praise Jesus. That's wonderful. Yeah. And wow, that's miracle working, isn't it? Miracle working right in front of you. God is so good. God is so good. Can I ask you mentioned so you mentioned that because you were born in Zimbabwe, and you grew up with your sister. What happened to your parents, if you don't mind sharing?
My parents passed on. I was born in Zimbabwe, and when I came to Botswana initially, my dad passed on. And when I came to Botswana, I stayed with my sister because she was the breadwinner. So years after her passing, I got married to my husband. And then just a few months to my marriage, we lost two parents. We lost my mom-in-law in the same year. We got married around January. And then that same year, my mom-in-law passed on May, and my mom passed on in September. So that was like losing in a very critical time. You know, when you get married, you are looking forward to share the good experiences of marriage with your mother or mother-in-law, and the bad experiences of a mother, your bad experiences in the marriage with your mom and maybe mom-in-law. So we lost both mothers in that season. And as if that was enough, we lost three brothers that we married, two in South Africa and one in Zimbabwe, in a very short space of time. So pain became a thing of, it really consumed our faith, and we had to speak words for us to come alive. Mm-hmm. It's like pain dominated our emotions, but the word of God kept us alive. We meditated on the word. We spoke the word consistently. We believed God for miracles. So Lord, we are who you declared in your word that we are. You are our greatest comfort, and rely on you for comfort. You said you are the father to the fatherless. Our both parents passed on. My father-in-law is no more. My mother-in-law is no more. My dad is no more. My mom is no more. We are just like orphans, but you, Lord, are the father of the fatherless. Mm-hmm. So we had to rely at all costs. He was our first and last resort. We said, Lord, it's either you do it or nobody else can for us. Mm-hmm. You know, the time to rely on him. And I think that's the birth. It takes us to that other phase of the birth of our books, because we started doing positive affirmations with my husband. And throughout that time, my husband noticed that I was actually falling asleep through cartoons. When cartoons were playing on the background, I would literally fall asleep. So my husband said to me, you know what, I've observed that you like playing cartoons, and through cartoons, you actually fall asleep. It shows there's a therapy ongoing during your sleep through the cartoons. And also, he said to me, there's something connected to you in the cartoons. You should look inside you. God will help you bring that which is inside to the outside. It might be not just for you, but maybe for the world to benefit out of. Wow. So that's when I was affirmations books for children, because I never went to preschool. I think it's probably because that I grew up in a village. So because of that, I had lots of self-esteem, and I was also bullied in school. I was the tallest person in class, but I was the most struggling child. I couldn't even manage to write my name for the entire year. So that also really contributed to people bullying me. You understand? So we thought to ourselves, okay, what if there's a child somewhere in a village struggling with self-esteem due to being bullied, or due to circumstances of life, maybe poverty, or, anything else, or any external forces or issues of life that really can affect the child, actually struggling with self-esteem. What are we contributing towards that child's life? We thought a positive affirmations book will really speak volumes of words towards the child and can rebuild that child. Aside from just shaping the character of that particular child, it will infuse in the child the power, self-identity, and for a child to just a mindset that will carry the child to greater heights. So we started doing the positive affirmations book. As if that was enough, we just journeyed into educational materials. We did a coloring book. We did an introduction to English literacy. We did an introduction to mathematics, and we did a teens positive affirmation. We did another book, which is a current novel that I'm working on. And we just started translating the books to 7 languages. You know what? In no time, I think in the space of 9 months, we had produced those books in 7 languages.
Wow. From somebody who couldn't write their name for a year to doing a master's degree to writing books all over in different languages.
God is amazing. There is nothing you say that you can never achieve.
Wow, thank you so much for sharing that. It's absolutely wonderful part of your story. So inspiring.
Thank you.
And
thank you.
You described being a house helper and how you found that quite difficult because you felt like you were destined for more. Do you feel that some people who are house helpers and are happy in that role, do you feel like that could be their success?
People that are house helpers, I would love to tell them that they don't belong there. They don't belong there. I always tell people that there's a space for everyone at the top. So you just choose. If you choose to be comfortable, you're on your own. Comfort zone is a trap. You cannot be there forever. You belong to the top. Whether you like it or not, whether you come to terms with that or not, you just belong to the top. So you look inside of you, dream beyond. You'll see yourself in the next 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. Man, your name can just be written in an archive space somewhere, or in somewhere in a very good space. Your name can just appear. Anything is possible. Anything. So nobody should feel comfortable with the current state.
Okay.
Never feel comfortable. Just aim for the stars. You can become anything you're mind to do.
That's wonderful. That's a wonderful way to look at it. Thank you for sharing that. What part of your story do you feel really defines who you are today?
Hard work, patience, and just having an open mind. Having a teachable spirit. Because I think when I started as a house helper, I had a dream. I knew it was too big for me, but for some reason I just kept on believing. So I saw the dream. In my story, there is a dream. And I couldn't feel comfortable with the current state. I was aiming for the stars. I knew it was close to impossible. It was just too good to be true for me to believe that I can one day get somewhere. I had a picture of main and international stage, but I didn't know how, But because of people that came my way, God had channeled towards me for me to become a better person. I kept going. And for those that came my way and the redirection of every path that I kept turning left when I was instructed to turning right, I could have missed easily.
Yeah.
Easily, but that thing of being conscious of where to be, when to be, and how to be makes sense. You need to know where to go, how to go about something, and who to be with. To listen to the right people takes grace.
Yes.
So it's a story of God's grace. It's a story of consistently opening your eyes and ears to hear and see and getting the right. And also just the power of evolving, taking pride in evolving, in watching the girl that you thought had given up on herself evolve. It's like you're watching from a distance, like, who is this girl? Admiring from a distance. But I kept tapping myself on the shoulder. I know my sister was normal, but I could just say, girl, you got this. So I kept moving. So it's the power of consistency, the power of embracing, ever evolving, and also being patient.
Fair.
Be patient. I learned that point really doesn't matter. It matters how far through your mindset,
Mm-hmm.
go. So if you have a different mindset, you should really position your mind. Have a different, unique mindset. That will determine how far you go.
How would you suggest people change their mindset to be able to achieve what you're describing?
I think that just to consume certain materials, they should just look out for books that really challenge their status quo, challenge the way they think. Always yearn to acquire knowledge. Knowledge is everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Gone are the days search for textbook for us to get access to knowledge.
Yes.
Now, knowledge, it's in the internet. Everywhere, you just by your fingertips. Knowledge is everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So seek knowledge at all cost. Make up your mind to evolve. Make up your mind to change. Make up your mind to become a better person.
Mm-hmm.
And when you, you won't think like a normal child. You will think differently. You will dream big. You just open your mind and challenge yourself to bigger things. Yes. So you need to challenge yourself.
Yeah, absolutely you do. And I think challenging yourself is quite a difficult thing to do. And some people are sometimes maybe not in the right position to be able to access and get the right support. You know, I have quite a lot of family members in Zambia who just the economics in Zambia at the moment is quite difficult. So some family are in positions where financially unable to access certain types of knowledge and unable to have opportunity to use our fingertips like you described. So in those circumstances, I hear you saying that whatever way that you can challenge yourself to grow and evolve and continue to access knowledge in any way, shape or form, it sounds like that's what you're encouraging people to do, even if they're unable to be in a position where they can afford something like, for example, being able to use a phone or access the internet. You feel searching knowledge in whichever way they can is what they should aim to do.
Exactly. Also, one thing that I've realized is that throughout the years, I've seen free courses. Now there are free courses online. Mm-hmm. Do a free course, challenge your mind. It's like in a workplace when you know that you all have degrees, maybe honors degrees in a certain thing. Let's assume I have a degree in broadcasting and journalism, and maybe I'm a news writer or I'm a news reader in a particular space. What sets me apart? Mm-hmm. If a retrenchment, what will make me remain? What will make me stay afloat in that particular space? Why am I the preferred one? Why am I special that I can remain where everybody else is being laid out? So you need to extraordinary, something that will set you aside, something that will set you 10 years ahead of your peers. Be mindful. What sets you apart from others? Do that thing. Do a free course. By the time everybody else is shaking and shivering concerning things of retrenchment, you never announce, but that time you're having a master's degree. So maybe you just happen to be the only one with a master's degree. Everybody else is comfortable with what they have. Yeah. But you have a master's degree, or maybe you're just having an extra certificate. So always aim to just get an extra certificate. And more skills. Acquire more skills. If I'm a journalist with a difference. Be a journalist with a difference. Stay afloat. Yeah, it's possible.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is.
Stay relevant. Stay relevant.
And I think you promoted a lot of being unique and also self-awareness and recognizing, evolving within yourself. And those are all really positive things and all things that contribute to good well-being and good mental health. What's the most difficult obstacle you've overcome and what did it teach you?
I think it's losing my parents, my mom-in-law and my mom in the same year, and my brothers. Man, it was just so difficult. But throughout the years, I think I've seen the grace of God, and I can't really say I overcame the pain. I live with the pain because I can wake up thinking of my my mom, thinking of my mom-in-law, thinking of my late brothers. I can wake up thinking if they were alive, maybe life would be different. But I never give up. I think I've learned that when everything else is done and said, God is God. So I think it has taught me to rely on God, to say, you know what, there's only one God.
Mm-hmm.
There's only He is the greatest comfort. He gives beautiful ashes, man. He's faithful and just through and through. Regardless of circumstances of life, He's God. So I think throughout the pain, I learned that you can actually birth beautiful things out of pain. Like every time we talk about books, how the books came as a result of pain. It's like it's a lie. But literally, one thing that we have learned is that in the midst of pain, God can actually give you great ideas.
Mm-hmm.
So in the midst of pain, don't really meditate so much on pain.
Okay.
Speak the word, rely on the word. Throughout the process of pain and mourning, something can come. The Bible says he turns your mourning into dancing.
Mm-hmm.
So be in the lookout story that is turning from mourning into dancing in your life. You'll be amazed in that time, in that season. Your mother have just passed on. You are elected a president of that country. It's a story of mourning into dancing.
Mm-hmm.
But how does it happen? Through you being conscious of who you are, being conscious of who God is to you. He's the Lord of your life.
Mm-hmm.
He's the Lord of your life, in your job, in your family, in your finances, in everything concerning you. He's the Lord of your life.
Mm-hmm. That's wonderful. I agree with what you're saying. In circumstances where people may not know God, and in circumstances where people are still trying to find their own way through the difficulties in all our communities, our societies, in terms of having a lot of loss with your parents and your parents-in-law and your brothers as well, your sister. Do you have any advice for those people?
Yeah, I think they can also go through counseling, because sometimes it's very hard for you to survive. It's really hard to survive. I don't really know how we would have survived without God, but I'll just advise those people to go through counseling, because it's very difficult to survive in a space of pain, and we cannot deny the fact that pain is pain, and it comes very strong.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing that people seek counseling, because maybe that's where you can actually find yourself again. Mm-hmm. And manage to deal away with pain. Men, they should just look for loved ones and be close to loved ones, and mm-hmm. spend some time with them, and do all things possible to make sure that they are just, surviving or walking through pain. But it takes time, and also for someone to be kind to self. You need to be kind to yourself, because with the inner person, you have lost. It's painful, and you're very hard on yourself. Just be kind to yourself. Mm-hmm. Be kind to yourself, even if you're not a Christian. But you can just maybe speak positive affirmations to yourself. Say, girl, you're getting better. Mm-hmm. You are beautiful. You have a beautiful smile. It's good to remind yourself who you are.
Absolutely.
Because sometimes we had people, but just constantly stand in front of the mirror and declare good words concerning you. Say, girl, you have a beautiful smile. This also will pass. Mm-hmm. You can face just the boldness, and you're becoming a better person, better version of yourself. And I think it's just one thing that we've really ventured into and experienced, the power of positive affirmations.
100% agree. So on a few episodes, a few of the shows, we've talked about a few times being patient with yourself, being kind to yourself, giving yourself grace in times of difficult moments, even if you may not be a person who seeks the Lord. And then, yes, positive affirmations. When a few weeks ago I did an episode on self-care and all of that, and positive affirmations, actually, as you will know, having written books about it, the neurological changes that happen in our brain, so the physical changes that happen in our brain when we are attesting to these positive affirmations that we're saying on ourselves and declaring to ourselves, all of them will impact in some way, shape or form. And the more we do it and the more we persist, the brain connections actually change. So you're actually physically changing your brain. How amazing is that?
It's very amazing. It's very amazing. And such a small activity like that.
Yeah.
You can actually just set up to do that, or 2 minutes to that. Then you're just like literally dedicating those few minutes to reshape your character and to just build something huge within yourself.
Absolutely, I agree. And what a wonderful way to describe reshaping your character. So, what does success look like to you then, with all these different things you've had?
I think success really to me is not just accumulating billions of dollars or millions. To me, it's more than that. It's having those accumulated, but besides that, having to know that you're just not gonna have them and enjoy them when someone else is hungry. To me, success is impact. Success is for me to share the little bread I have with my neighbor, with the impact in the community. Like recently, I've started an initiative called An Author Goes to School, where I just go to random schools and I just spend time with the children, teaching them of positive affirmations. And also An Author Goes to Hospital, where I actually visit local hospitals and I just share just positive words and maybe share a basket of fruit. It's not much, but to me, success is impact. Success is a testimony behind my name. It's the mention of God's will and God's grace, and my name is on the equation. To say you came to the hospital while I was admitted and you shared positive affirmations and you shared a basket of fruits. You came to our school, you told us positive affirmation. That's success to me. Bringing an impact is success. Not just having money and not having nothing to share or nothing to show. When your name remain in the archives of that particular country you are in because of what you've brought to the country. That's success to me.
I love that view. I love that perspective, and it's something that I feel passionately about as well. I think God can give us with giftings that allow us to be able to want to impact and change and want to be part of a change, changing the narratives, the way that our societies and communities work. And it all comes down to love, doesn't it? Loving yourself, loving the people around you, loving God and spreading love through God, spreading love through the way we do things, communicate, how we give ourselves to people, and like you're saying, impact. I really like that perspective, and I hope your initiatives go really well. Have they been successful? Are you enjoying doing them?
Thank you.
How do you have the time as well to do that?
I beg your pardon?
How do you have the time to do that with all the other things and your children and your husband?
I always say time management is key. When a lot of things surround you, you need to manage your time. Very important, because you're a mother, you are a wife, you are a daughter-in-law somewhere, you are a daughter somewhere. You have two families already, extended families. Although our parents might not be around, but we have siblings from both sides, so we still have to create time to spend time with them. And on my thesis and other things that are ongoing, and also managing social media pages and getting to do a lot of things. It's a lot, but time management is key. So you need to make sure that you keep track of time. Otherwise, you won't manage to do such things. So you have to put things in order and maybe do the to-do list, rely on it, tick on what you've achieved, and you move on to the next phase of your life, because time. And I think when you clock 40, I think, oh my God, time is even running away from me.
I don't know. I think you're keeping pretty active, with all of the different things that you're doing. So I think that you're going to be. And your youngest is 8, if I remember rightly.
I beg your pardon?
Your youngest is 8?
Yes.
So they're going to keep you young as well, because 8-year-olds need you to be able to be there and be present, don't they?
Exactly.
So what's an accomplishment that you're most proud of, and what steps did you take to achieve it?
Oh, I think recently I got named among the. I was actually a finalist among the 9 women changing the world by the United Kingdom group called Women Changing the World. So among the 9, yeah, I was actually nominated under the Woman of the Year by the Women Changing the World. And last year, I got listed among the distinguished 100 African fashion and arts personalities for 2024. And all the nominations that I've accumulated.
Oh my gosh! Amazing!
I was actually listed. I was nominated by a board of awards in Zimbabwe called List Awards as a for humanitarian impact.
Wow!
And because of my languages that I've written, so it's huge for me. It shows, oh man, its impact. It's preserving culture because I've translated my books to 7 languages. So it's preserving culture, preserving language, because the more children get exposed to our culture, they are exposed to language, and together as a community, we can actually preserve culture. And I also got our company, Smart Thinking, got nominated on the FOIA Awards as an upcoming company of the year, and the She Awards, and also recently nominated by the African Tribe Writers Awards board from Nigeria. I am the girl, man.
Oh my gosh! Zweli, I'm so proud of you. Wow! Absolutely amazing.
Just a little girl that was just having low self-esteem years back, worked as a house helper, now a trendsetter. You know, I'm so proud of myself. I don't know how I should say this, but I'm very proud of myself.
Good.
And this is just not for, it's for every child around the world to believe in themselves, to say that it is possible. And I think one thing that you asked, that how have I achieved this? Through trusting God. Through God. You know, there's nothing on this planet that you can achieve without relying on God.
Yes.
So I think all time, every step I took, man, it's been a journey of pain, a journey of consistent reminding myself that God is God. But in the midst of pain, I held on to God. When the days looked dark, I held on. When everything seemed impossible, I held on. So it's a matter of holding on, because something that you produce on earth is not yours.
Yeah.
It's for the entire community, entire Africa. It's for the entire world to benefit from.
Wow.
So it's a story of grace, a story that ends with laughter, because after everything is said and told, we laugh because of what the Lord has done to us, you know.
Yes, that's amazing. And how many awards and nominations? Oh my gosh, absolutely amazing achievements. And for recognition at the impact that you're making, and how it followed so nicely when you're talking about, for you, success is impact, and you're being recognized, acknowledged in your different fields of work for the impact that you're making. Amazing.
Amazing. I think it's just one award for the distinguished 100 African fashion and arts personalities for 2024. That is an South African board of awards. The 5 are I was a finalist on the Woman of the Year under the Women Changing the World. 9 on the 9 finalists. Man, I always people, I'm a powerhouse.
You are a powerhouse, because even if you don't class it as an award, like necessarily, you got to the end point that you recognize as award winning, because you got to the end line.
Huge for me.
Huge.
It's a finalist. Women Changing the World finalist. That's huge. And also the FOIA Awards as the upcoming Founder of the Year, and the She Awards, the upcoming Founder of the Year, and the African Writers Tribe Award nomination, and the List Awards, the Zimbabwean Boards of Awards called List, where I was actually nominated under humanitarian impact.
Yeah.
I am so proud of my home country. I was born in Zimbabwe and bred in Zimbabwe. I experienced all the harshness when I was in school. I walked 10 kilometers to school, five a day, and sometimes barefooted. And for me to be nominated in the homeland is something incredible. I'm proud of myself.
Oh my gosh, you should be. You should be, and I bet your husband is, and your kids are, and your wider family, your friends. Absolutely. I'm absolutely honored and inspired to be a part of your journey and meeting you. Wonderful story. Absolutely wonderful. And inspiring to me when I'm thinking about my relationship with God. You know, the way that you talk about that, the way you talk about your relationship with God and just really leaning on Him. And yes, it's inspiring for me and it's encouraging me to continue to be as close to God as I try to be. So thank you for that. Absolutely amazing. I'm absolutely amazing, inspirational woman. I'm so glad that I got to meet you.
Thank you so much.
Can I ask a little bit different from what we've been talking about, but not really? What are you grateful for?
I'm grateful to God for the gift of life. Life is everything. If you have the gift of life, you just have to be grateful. It's a precious thing that a lot of people just overlook. The gift of life, God, the Creator, my husband, of course, because sometimes when you get married, it's a matter of the end of a dream or the beginning of greater things. So I think I'm grateful to God that He gave me a husband that is very understanding, someone that really gives me wings to fly. He doesn't really suppress the power of God at work in me. I'm grateful to God for my family, for my kids, for the community, the Christian community. Because I think in countless times we forget to mention the power of Christian community, because these are the people that stood with us during painful situations, during painful seasons, and they just stood by us like a real family. And we're also grateful to God for our family, where I was born and where I'm married to. These are the pillars of strength. And when a tear drop, they give you tissue. When you achieve something, they're tapping your shoulder. When anything beautiful is done, they clap for you. They are there.
Your cheerleaders.
They are always there. God for family.
Yes, absolutely. Family and friends and people in our lives that will continue to cheer us on, but also give us grace when we fall and try and shield us from pain and all of that. Yes, absolutely. I agree. It is definitely something to be really grateful for. And I'm glad that you have those in your life, despite the immense loss that you've had and experienced. Last question. We'll squeeze in the last question. I just wanted to ask, although you've spoken a lot about the things that you do, what are you most passionate about?
Education, ever evolving, being a better person, self-identity, but above all, developing your sweet self. You need the new version of yourself to the new level. For the doors to open, you need to be in action. And confidence is not just confidence. It can never happen. It happens only when action is in action.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
So for me to take action. Action is what will actually open doors for me. So I have to be doing something. Mm-hmm. I also love writing. It's one of the things that I really love. I love improving my life and contributing to communities. Who is Zweli without the impact in communities? Mm-hmm. My contribution to the actually, when we did the books with my husband, he said to me, baby, this is actually a little contribution to the nation of Botswana towards building a loving and kind nation. Mm-hmm. He said that, and I quote his statement. He said, babes, this is our contribution to the nation of Botswana, mm-hmm. to consistent build a loving and kind nation. Mm-hmm. Botswana is one of the countries that have high statistics of passion killing and all that. But because I always feel like maybe these are children that were neglected from the younger age and were never really exposed to materials that shape their characters. Mm-hmm. So what is our duty of the community? To shape their characters while they are young, so that when they are old now, they are able to carry the country with integrity, to lead with wisdom, So we're just like, we are contributing towards shaping Botswana, shaping Africa, and shaping the entire world. The children shaped for them to carry these countries with integrity. We need leaders that are wise, that are God-led.
Yeah.
And it's up to us to contribute towards that.
Yes, it is.
So that's a little the community
Absolutely
that we're talking
amazing.
about.
That's wonderful. And I think you're 100% right. That the way that shaping children to influence the way they think, believe, and to allow them to change their futures and our futures at the same time. So one of the things that Let's is the nonprofit organization in Zambia for domestic violence. One of the things that we want to do is impact change in education. We want to change the way people see healthy relationships, the way they see boundaries, the way people view domestic violence in Africa, in all of Africa, is very negative. So trying to change that. Is there any? Do you have a website that people can check out your books, or where people can look up about you and get more information about you?
Okay, people can actually follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Zwelihle Banks for the 3 platforms: Instagram, Zwelihle Banks, Facebook, and TikTok, Zwelihle Banks. Then on Twitter and LinkedIn, Zwelihle Banks Nsiiwa.
Okay.
For the Banks Nsiiwa. So our books are also available across just a few stores in Gaborone, and we are working towards distributing them globally, because you know that we produce a global global material to take them outside soon. So we're working on that. But we currently have our books at the Botswana Book Center in Gaborone and Botswana Craft in Gaborone, and at the airport. At the airport, there's a shop called Concept. Okay. So they have our Setswana book. So we're looking forward to expanding our territories, and we are just clearly going to take those books to Zimbabwe soon.
Yay, amazing. And then hopefully to Zambia as well.
Yeah, and Zambia. We're also, by the way, we have translated our books to Shona, Ndebele, French, Afrikaans, Anga, Setswana, and they're also available in English. So we're looking forward to expand and get more Africa, and we take dominance in the space.
Amazing, absolutely amazing. Maybe we can link up or something, collaborate. So Let's is trying to. We've got quite a lot of resources on our website, in English, Nyanja, and Bemba. Not everything, but trying to expand into some more languages in Zambia. So just the resources, because we have a lot of free resources. So just trying to allow people the opportunity to access free knowledge to change, like you're saying, change who they are, change their characters.
That's incredible. So I like that.
We're going to do that. But thank you so much. So, Zweli, thank you so much for coming on the show. You have been so inspirational for me. I've absolutely loved hearing your story. And I have family members who I'm going to encourage to listen to this, because I have a couple of family members that are house helpers. And because you said it quite a few times, and you identified that as quite a big thing in your story, from being in that space to doing master's degrees. And I know that some people can be quite comfortable in the spaces that they're occupying. My kid's dad, he worked in a petrol station for a really long time, and that's what he liked, and he didn't want to pursue anything else, because that's where that was his space, and he was happy in that space. And some people are like that, aren't they? But for people that want to be able to pursue and change and grow in a way that you have, absolutely inspirational story. So thank you so much for sharing with me. Thank you for meeting me, and I hope we can continue to have a relationship and be part of each other's journeys.
Surely do that. I have your number, so we'll surely keep in touch. I am so grateful to God for you. I am so honored to be interviewed by you, and thank you for celebrating and thank you for the opportunity. Thank you to fly, because I know this story will reach a lot of people. Yes. And I'm just so honored. It's an honor.
It's an honor for me too.